Hey y'all, I'm Hope, and today I'm putting together my December TBR, or rather, Jacob is my partner.
Hello, I'm in the video for this one.
He's behind the camera, he is helping me film, and we're doing my December TBR really early. Today is November 1st, but we have this fun idea of having him pick my books, and then he has wrapped them like Christmas gifts. They're books off of my shelf, so I have not been able to look at my shelves. And he is going to hand them to me, and I'm going to unwrap them. And he actually already picked my challenge books for me, so he rolled the dice and pulled a card, and I believe you filmed that, so there will be insert bits later of those portions of it.
Yes, so essentially what I did is there are going to be 6 books on her TBR. 4 are just ones I picked. They're ones that I think that she will like reading. I tried not to make her suffer too much for this. I have listed them in order of my excitement for her to read them in. And so, yeah, that's something you didn't know before.
I did not know this.
So I have listed them in my excitement for her to read them in. And then the last 2 books are going to be the 2 challenge books. First one will be the dice challenge. And then the second one will be the card challenge, which, as I said, I filmed something earlier. And you'll get to see that here at some point in this. So...
And I have no idea what they are. I don't know what he rolled. I don't know what the card is. I picked a number. He texted me while I was at work, and I picked a number. So that's how we've done that.
Yes, she's going in this blind. So I'm actually very excited for this. So without that being said, you want to go ahead and open the first one?
Yeah, let's just get started. I don't have anything else to add, so... Hey y'all, just a brief interlude from the future. We've either just said or are about to say that Jacob and I filmed this extremely early in the month. It was literally like the 1st of November. So we did it well in advance of any other planning taking place, and I have since signed up to participate in the Reindeer Readathon, and I'm going to be on Team Candy Cane, which I'm very excited about. I really enjoyed this readathon last year, and I'm really excited to participate again this year, but as a result, I now have a bunch of readathon prompts to fill. So, in a minute, I'm going to jump you back to the past, and we'll unwrap those books and see what Jacob picked for me. And then after that, I'm going to pop back in here from the future and tell you how I'm going to be using those books to fulfill Reindeer Readathon prompts, and also what I'm going to be using for the rest of the prompts, because there's 9 prompts, I think, and I think Jacob only picked 6 books. So I have to pick a few extra things. But if you'd like to skip directly to the Reindeer Readathon portion of this video, there will be a timestamp either on the screen or, well, in the screen and also in the description that you can go to skip the unwrapping portion if you'd like to. So, yeah. Without any further ado, let's find out what the books are.
So this is the first book, and make sure to show off my halfway decent wrapping job.
You actually did a really good job. Like,
it helps out working a job that I have to wrap
a lot of stuff
fairly regularly, yeah.
That's fair. Well, I'm impressed too because this wrapping paper is really stiff. So I wrapped a gift for Amelia one time in this, and it just like completely came open. I was like, I'm sorry, you can see a present through this. It's all
fair. Well, I mean, I already told you about the other wrapping paper, so.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so I can tell right off the bat this is a paperback.
Yes.
Because
I can't. There's only so much hiding I can do in that regard.
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea which paperback because I have not looked at my shelves.
I've
also just cut my nails, so this might.
There we go.
Scissors of Destiny. Do this excessively. Try not to cut the book in the process.
I won't. Hope you don't do any damage to your books by doing that.
Honestly, we're going to try our best. I am trying to just cut in the seams, where like the seams of the wrapping.
Yeah.
So
I taped them down pretty tight. So
you did, which again necessary for this paper.
I also didn't tape. One thing I didn't do is I did not put tape on any of your books. So
I appreciate that.
I was considerate during this process, or tried to be anyway.
Okay, so what am I reading first in December? I've almost got it open.
Well, by the time we get this open, it will be December. So.
Hey! Okay. First one is Certain Dark Things by Sylvia Moreno Garcia, which I believe is a noir vampire story.
Yeah, I know nothing about that book. I just know Sylvia Moreno Garcia is a very well acclaimed author. And the cover certainly looked like something that you could probably get into. And given that your media recently has been very vampire heavy.
This is true. I've been reading a lot
I figured
of
you could just continue
stuff.
the trend. So
just carry on the trend right into December, because I think I have some vampire stuff I'm going to be reading in November too.
Yeah.
So yeah, cool. And actually, this is a good pick because that's one of my favorite authors. I love Sylvia Garcia.
Yeah, I know that you love a lot of her stuff. And I was like, I figured that this could be something good to lead off with.
Well, this is a really good first pick. Top marks for that.
I'm 1 for 6.
You're 1 for 6. I'm going to set that down there.
Okay.
I'm going to toss the wrapping over there.
All right, so here's book number 2.
Book number 2. Woo! Okay.
All right, well.
Oh, yeah, okay. So, that's Bunny by Mona Awad, which I believe is Dark Academia, from what I remember.
I believe so. I bought you that book.
You did buy me this book, and I haven't gotten around to it yet.
Yeah, so I was... So I do know that someone that we both watch, Kat from Paperback Dreams, she really loved this book, and I do think that it's something that you would really enjoy. So when I came across it going through your shelves, I thought, yeah, that could, be a nice change of pace from all the more, I guess, supernatural stuff that's going on, and just go into a good old school cult.
Good old
book.
cults.
Yeah,
cult
good old
books
cult.
Are good. This will be interesting too because I haven't actually read a New York Academia yet, and I've heard this book is super weird. I don't remember anything about it other than there's like a cult and there's like a group of girls who all call each other Bunny, and I think it follows somebody who gets involved with that, and she's like an English student or something. So yeah, cool.
All right, so number 3. But this is actually, if you want a last minute hint, this is actually something I've read.
This is something you've read, okay.
The last 2 books are something I've read.
Norse Mythology. Okay.
So, Norse Mythology, for those watching, this is actually one of my favorite books I've read this year. I gave this 4.5 stars if we're doing the whole thing on that. Very fun read, just very simple retellings. Neil Gaiman does a fantastic job on it, and I think it would be right up your alley. Like, I can easily see this being 4 or 5 stars easy for you.
That's fair. I do really like mythology. I'm really into mythology. I don't know if I have some, mythology books
That's where I
out there.
picked it from. So
yeah, this was among those. I have a bunch of mythology books, but I think this one is, I'm not sure if it's exactly retellings or if it's just, bringing the language of the original stories into a more modern, way of speaking. But, yeah, it's Norse mythology. It is what it says on the tin there. And,
very good.
I actually have started this one. There's a bookmark in it. I read one chapter.
Well, I was going to say you've not gotten far into that one, so that one I'm very excited for you to read.
I think I was reading that right when we moved into this house, and I just was like,
yeah. So it's been years.
Yeah.
So, and this is the one I'm most excited for you to read.
Okay. Highest excitement.
Once you open it, you will understand.
I will understand why.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That's The Alienist, which I know is one of your favorite books.
This is one of my favorite books of all time, bar none. One of the easiest 5 stars I've ever given in a book. I love The Alienist. I think it's phenomenal. And this is something I've been asking you for to read since I read it last year.
Yeah.
So
it's time.
I figured now is a good time since she has to. So
I am now forced to read it. Although, not really forced, because I actually do really want to read this one.
Out of all of the books that I have, because for context, for people watching this, I did not read for the longest time. I restarted last year. I started getting really into reading a lot. I've rated 4 or 5 books 5 stars. Out of all the ones that I have, I think The Alienist is the one that you would like the most.
This is fair. This has been on my shelf for a while too.
Except Ring Shout, which you also really
I already did read that one, and that one I loved. But this has been on my shelf for a long time. Yeah. And this really should be right up my alley because I really like historical mysteries. I really like psychology. I was a psychology student. So this one follows an alienist, which is basically a ye old psychologist. And he's solving mysteries, or a mystery. I think it's a serial killer, right?
It is a serial killer, yes.
And I love serial killer stories, so
Yeah, it's basically the plot of it is that a psychologist who has done a lot of work with crime and things like that back before psychology was really something widely accepted. I believe the timeline is 1920s New York City.
Is it 1920s? I was thinking it was 1800s.
It's either late
1896.
Okay, I was going to say it's either late 1800s or early 1900s.
Very late 1800s.
Yeah, so
before the turn of
late
the century.
1800s psychology not really very taken seriously at that point.
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty new discipline, too.
Yeah, unless you're in the field. The New York City Police enlist in an alienist to help
Dr.
solve
Chrysler.
to enlist his help in solving a series of very brutal serial killings. And it goes batshit from there. So once again, I can go on all day about this book. I really hope you like it as much as I do, or at least somewhat. I hope you don't hate it.
The camera died. We were just chatting and the camera died. But you were saying you hope I don't hate this book.
Essentially.
And I don't think I'm going to hate it because I love historical mystery, I love psychology, I love serial killer stories. You probably pulled this from directly next to my Jack the Ripper book collection.
Yes, that is correct. Also,
Pretty safe bet.
Also, I do want to tell you, I just adjusted your camera a little bit because the top of your head was cutting off. That was very much a "fuck it, we'll do it live" moment that just happened. So
that's fair. We're having some fun figuring out how to get the tripod over here because this chair doesn't normally live here. We moved it over here so we can film over here. And
makes a hell of a backdrop, I will say that.
Yeah, see, I like this backdrop better than that corner, which is part of why I want to move the chair anyway.
No, move the book. All right. Anyway,
It's been a long day.
Let's go before this deteriorates any further.
That's fair.
So this is your dice pick. So for the first challenge of December, I'll be doing Hope's dice roll. So Hope has created a RNG sheet of her library that will give a option of being able to choose one of these random books as a challenge. So first I'm going to be rolling the D20. That will give me the number that I'll be looking for on the sheet. And then the green D12, which will be giving the instance of that number that I am looking for. So to start with the D20, we have a 5. I'll be looking for a 5. And for the D12, I'll be looking for the third instance of 5. Obviously, I don't have that on hand, so I will be going to find out what that book is, and you will see it very soon.
Okay, this was the dice roll pick.
This was the dice roll.
Are you going to tell me what numbers you did?
So this was the third instance of the number 5. And this is not a reread. This is something you've not read yet. I actually think you bought this book while you were with me.
I did, because I see what it is now.
Yeah.
Okay. There's still the tag on it. I never took the sticker off. This is Autonomous by Annalee Newitz. And I don't know a lot about this book. I bought it on a whim at a book warehouse, which seems to be some sort of kind of overstock for books thing, where it was like $7.99 or 3 for $20.
Not gonna lie, the premise sounds cool.
Yeah, so I think it's following a scientist turned drug pirate, and also I believe the military agent and a robot who are trying to track him down. So it follows both perspectives. And I don't know exactly what it's about beyond that, but that sounds pretty cool.
It sounds like a really neat sci-fi.
It does. It sounds like it's going to be really fun sci-fi, but I suspect, based on the fact that there's drug pirates and things, and it's about the pharmaceutical industry, that it's probably going to have a lot of social commentary as well. So it should be really interesting. I don't have a lot to say about that one, mostly because I just don't know a whole lot about it. I also bent the hell out of some of these pages.
Yeah, out of all the ones, I think that's the most blind pick for both of us.
Yeah, I don't think either of us really knows much about it. I've not read it, you've not read it.
Yeah.
I know Amelia hasn't read it, so nobody we know has read it.
Which, speaking of Amelia, I do have the last book here.
The last book, my other friend gave some input on because I was not allowed to know the prompt. So he has...
Yeah, so this
was challenge book.
This was the card prompt. All right, we are here with the cards. I have drawn 6 cards, and I've given Hope the option of choosing a number 1 through 6, corresponding to a card each. This will be one of her challenge prompts for the month. And she has texted me and told me that her choice is this purple card here, number 4, which is, oh fuck, I can't believe you've done this. And that's not a good one because that prompt is, read a book that a friend or a partner has disliked. So I've got to go through all the books I've read and find one that I did not like. Hope, I'm so sorry ahead of time. As you guys know, I made some meme-based cards for her to draw and pick something based on the prompt. The
We
prompt...
got Fuck Nazim for November, so that was fun.
Yes, and December's prompt was, "Aw fuck, I can't believe you've done this."
Oh fuck, I can't believe you've done this. I know what book Amelia would suggest, but I think you didn't
Well,
pick.
I need to give some extra context here. For those who don't know, the prompt...
They won't know the prompt because we never used the cards before.
Yeah, well,
last month.
I was going to say the prompt is pick a book that a friend or your partner, me, dislikes. The problem is I was going to pick a book that I did not like, and I do have a few. The problem is I don't keep books I don't like, and I was going through my Goodreads and trying to pick out ones that I had rated 2 or 1 star, and realized, wow, I don't have any of these anymore.
You're pretty quick to unhaul them.
I am. So I consulted with her friend Amelia, and this is actually not something that she's read. However, is the sequel to something that she's read that she is pretty sure that she would absolutely despise. That being said...
Okay, well, now I'm really confused, because, see, I know what book she would normally say, because normally she would say Read the Unbroken by C.L. Clarke, because she was really disappointed by that book.
Was
that the one that she recommended first?
No, it was not. That actually never came up in conversation.
That's interesting, because that would have been my my pick. If I had pulled this card on my own, that would have been the one I pulled for that.
Yeah, this one, it's...
the sequel to a book that Amelia didn't like and is pretty sure she would hate.
Yes.
And I own this
You own the
book.
You own the sequel, yes.
I own,
or you own, you
I
own...
own the first book.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, God. Okay, yeah. Well, this is going to be an interesting one. Largely because I never finished the second book, and I, in fact, unhauled it.
I am well aware. However,
he's done a lovely drawing here. This is not actually a book. This is one of my favorite books.
Yeah, I defiled one of your favorite books of all time
You
with my
favorite
artistic
books.
interpretation of Any Way the Wind Blows by Rainbow Rowell.
Wonderful. Anyway, The Wind Blows by Rainbow Rowell, if you're not aware, is the 3rd book in the Simon Snow series, which starts with Carry On. And then and the second one is Wayward Son, which I DNF'd and unhauled. And this one unnecessarily changes song titles and goes with Any Way the Wind Blows, which, why would you do that to me?
We're off to
Finish the damn continuation.
We're off to a great start already. And
so I hated the second book so much I got to the 50% mark when there's no fucking plot and then put the book down and walked away.
Yes.
And I was salty because I had specifically liked the first book so much that I went out and bought the Barnes & Noble special edition of Wayward Son, and I was really pissed off about it.
Yeah. And I made sure to pick something that you don't have to buy. The audiobook is on Libby.
Okay, so I can't just listen to it on Libby.
Yes.
Cool. That makes it a little bit easier.
That's why I told you not to look at your Libby.
That is fair. So, I'm really enjoying your little stick figure drawing. I don't know.
Look at the cover. That's how it is.
Does that show up on the camera at all? Because it's beautiful,
it does.
And I think that it should.
It does. It's showing off my horrific handwriting too. But yeah, no, it's got.
I am enjoying your interpretation.
It's got the black-haired gentleman. I don't know any names, so you're gonna have to just ignore.
Black hair would be Bass.
Sure. It's got him in the bottom right corner looking very serious. And then it's got the other guy. I swear to God, his back looks like a giraffe's neck. And he's just kind of hovering over the words. And he's got a very angry look on his face.
Does he have wings? Does the hovering one have wings?
I'm going to be honest, I didn't pay that much attention.
I genuinely can't remember which one is which. I know Simon has wings as of the first book. And Baz is his vampire boyfriend.
Yeah,
So we got some more vampires happening.
I just looked at the cover on Libby and thought and had a last minute decision to think, man, it'd be funny if I drew this. And yeah, I did not pay too much attention, if you want me to be honest.
That is fair. I love the very disgruntled expressions these guys have.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what they match. I mean,
based on the second book, they should be disgruntled.
Yeah. I mean, we could put the actual picture, the actual cover.
I'm not going to do that.
Okay, never mind.
We're not going to defile this video like that.
That's okay.
I'm saving this for the wrap-up.
Okay. Oh, it's going to stay just like that. Okay.
We'll just put him right back up on the shelf like that.
All right, and then we can take
Covering up poor Trent with the...
Yeah, then we can take it and burn it to Crossroads. So.
Okay, well that's the last book, isn't it? You did say.
That's all I've got, yeah.
Reasonable stack, actually. Let me put my phone down so... All of these, plus this is a stand-in, is what I have to read. I think Any Way the Wind Blows is kind of long, too. I think it's like 500 and some pages. I know, I'm working on it.
Is it heavy?
It's a big stack.
It is. Hey,
these are dense boys here.
I was going to say, at least I didn't pick anything massive.
No, I appreciate it, because I was fully expecting to either, like, get one that had my pumpkin bookmark sticking out of it, which would have been it, because I have my pumpkin bookmark in it, which I've read 41% of, or I was expecting it to be a Kosif.
Yeah. No, it was, when she first gave me this idea this morning, actually, I told her I was just going to tell her to read it 10 times. So...
I'm glad that we didn't go with it. I
That
do
would've
need to
been
read it, because I want to clear out my currently reading before the end of the year, but...
That would have been too predictable in my mind. This
is fair.
I feel like these are 6 things that...
I wasn't expecting any of these to be on the list.
I'm really surprised you were not expecting the Alienist. I figured that was like the most transparent pick.
I think it's because I was expecting you to pick it.
That's fair. Well, I mean, I guess if you were thinking I was going to be picking books that I have read, I feel like if I had specified I am going to pick a couple things I have read, then Alienist would have been high up on that list because you already have it.
Yeah.
And I did think about adding a couple other books that I own that I really loved in there. Nothing to See Here. I thought about adding that one because it's very light-hearted book about kids bursting into flames.
See, when you said this, I briefly thought, because I didn't know what the prompt was until you just told me a couple of minutes ago.
Yeah.
I briefly thought you were going to give me The Mortifications by Derek Palacio.
Yeah.
I thought it might be that one.
That's why I got in touch with Amelia. So, The Mortifications by Derek Palacio is a book I hate, and that was the one I still have. I refuse to put you through it. So,
was that bad?
I just don't think if in my honest opinion, I think that you would start it, get about maybe a third of the way through and DNF it.
That's fair.
Like if I'm going to be picking something, I do want to pick something that I do think there would be a very slight chance that you would like it. You liked Carry On.
I did like Carry On.
So I do think that there is a statistical chance that you may like Any Way the Wind Blows.
Any Way the Wind Blows. I will, regardless of whether I like it, I will be annoyed because it will almost certainly not draw on anything from the second book. Because Wayward Son felt like a filler book. Like, it had no plot. The little bit of plot that there was started at the 50% mark. And the rest of it was like fake British people being confused by buffalo wings. Well, I'm actually really excited about this stack. The downside to filming this early is that I have to wait a full month before I can read these.
You better keep that stack together somewhere.
I know. I probably will take a picture of it. And I'll leave this paper on here.
That picture's thumbnail.
That's a thumbnail.
Yeah.
Okay, welcome back to the future. But now I'm going to talk a little bit about the Reindeer Readathon. So, this readathon is hosted, I think I mentioned this at the beginning, it's hosted by Eric over at Break Even Books, and I will link his channel below. And then there are several co-hosts that are leading all of the different teams. I'm on Team Candy Cane, and it's a competitive readathon, so all the prompts have points. And there are 9 prompts, 1 for every reindeer. And then there's 3 bonus prompts that we can use to get some extra points. And if you finish everything else, then you can do Slaying It, which is to redo 1 prompt for extra points as well. So for this, what I did was I took all of the books that I just unwrapped and I tried to fit them into some of these prompts. I had 1 book that didn't fit, and you'll see which one it is. But all but 1 I managed to fit into these prompts, and then I picked a few other things to just kind of fill in the gaps. I'm just going to start with the books that you just saw me unwrap. That seems like the clearest place to start. And first up, I'm using Certain Dark Things by Sylvia Moreno Garcia to fulfill Dancer, a book by one of your favorite authors. I've read like 3 or 4 books by Sylvia Moreno Garcia now, and I've given all of them 4.5 or 5 stars. So she's definitely one of my favorites, and I'm very excited to get to this one. Then I'm going to be using Norse Mythology by Neil Gaiman to fulfill Prancer, a book with a travel element in it. I checked with Jacob, he said this did have some travel and questing elements in it, so I think this works. I'm also going to be using this to fulfill the bonus prompt, Christmas Carols, read an ebook, because my library has the ebook for this, and I have a hold on it at the moment. It looks like it'll be coming in December. Then I've got The Alienist by Caleb Carr, which I'm using for the prompt Cupid, take a shot at reading a new author. Then I've got Autonomous by Newitz, and I'm using this to fulfill Blitzen. Choose at least 3 books and have one chosen randomly to read. For example, rolling a die, an online poll, your pet's choosing, etc. Since this was chosen via a dice roll and a spreadsheet of my unread books, I think this counts for Blitzen, so I'm using it for that. And then last, we got Bunny by Mona Awad, and I'm using this for Rudolph to read a standalone book. And then obviously the one I didn't fit in was Any Way the Wind Blows, and I'm not really that mad about it. It's very much a book where, like, if I get to it, if I get the time and I get to it, and I get that extra marble from completing my challenges, I will be thrilled. But I'm not going to force myself to read this if I have other things that I want to be reading first. But after that, I have 4 prompts left to fulfill. First one is Dasher, a short story collection, or a novella. And for that, I'm going to be using When the Tiger Came Down the Mountain by Nevo, which is a short novella. It's the second book in the Singing Hills cycle, and I'm really excited for it. I have it as an ebook, so I'm going to be using it as well for Christmas Carols, which is to read in, or no, sorry, Christmas Lights, which is to read an ebook, so another one of the bonus prompts. Then I've got Vixen, read a book that has recently caught your eye. And for this, I've chosen Little Thieves by Margaret Owen, because I've seen several really good reviews for it lately. I've been seeing a lot of people talking about it, and I wasn't all that interested in it before, but I saw a lot of buzz about it, and I went and read the premise, and I thought, oh, that sounds really cool. It's also going to be used to fulfill the Christmas Star bonus prompt, which is to read a book over 500 pages. I think I looked it up, and it's like 512, so that works perfectly. And then I've got Comet, read a 5-star prediction. And I'm reading A Desolation Called Peace by Arcady Martin. This is the sequel to one of my all-time favorite books, and I love Arcady Martin's writing, so I'm pretty convinced this is going to be a 5-star. And then, I think last but not least, I have Donner, which is to read a book with green or red as the primary color on the cover. And I've chosen Moriarty the Patriot by Ryosuke Takeuchi and Hikaru Miyoshi. This is a, like, origin story for James Moriarty from the Sherlock Holmes books. So those are all of the books that I'm hoping to read for the Reindeer Readathon. I don't imagine I will actually read all of them. If I can read 3 or 4, I'll be thrilled. But I am really excited about the selection that I have here, and I genuinely don't know which one I'm going to read first, because I'm really excited for all of them. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed making it. Particularly the unwrapping portion. That was like a really spur-of-the-moment thing that we planned literally just in an afternoon. So I think this was a really cool format, and I really liked it. I definitely would like to know what you guys thought of this down in the comments below. And yeah, I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!